What's up? Y'all need to get your games in, man. The power rankings. Understandably so. For sure. I put Rillaboom out. I clicked Swords Dance twice and I won the game. Which sounds so like dumb and degenerate, but like honestly, it's that mon is actually just so stupid. It's so good, and if you're not prepared for it, it definitely can do a number on you. Harry brought both like a Kafagrigus, Runarigus with the Scavalier team, so I assumed that he was going to try and do some Trick Room stuff, but he just like he didn't have a good enough turn to start doing it, so he never really got like any breathing room to get like anything set up that he wanted to. The strategy was there, but like it was just like a turn or two too late, and then Rillaboom just like swept 5 mons and died to its life orb, and then I just like send out Primarina and get a Moonblast off, and that was it. So it's no fault of his, that's for sure. It's just I just happened to make a good read and I got a second Swords Dance off, and that's how it goes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean Gardevoir got like 3 kills in this game too and just kind of cleaned up things at the end. So Caleb's an interesting piece. It's like he's just a little inconsistent. It's like it's all there, and if he put some effort into just kind of taking things slow and thinking about his decisions a little more, good things happen. And I think that's exactly what he did here. And coincidentally enough, both him, Dylan, and I think Nate are going to be in kind of a 3-team slugfest this week to try and get the last playoff spot. So it'll be interesting to see which of the 3 of them makes it in. Yeah, which is pretty rare considering. And I will die on this hill, as you said with what you were saying before. If any of you are playing against Curslax, bring a mon that has a funny little move called Haze. It's very good. It is a very good move, and that kills the whole strategy. I was just like, every week I see Snorlax 5-0, 6-0, 4-1, 5-1, whatever, and I'm like, just please somebody run Haze. It does the same thing for Slurpuff too, you know, if it's belly drumming. But Colin's got a really scary team composition, and you have to be very careful about the way you play things, because if you give him a free turn, he's just going to roll over you. So I think Jack played pretty well in this game, but it's hard to beat a really bulky sweeper like Snorlax. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I was really excited to watch this game too, and I kind of figured that this game was going to come down to just like one or two small mistakes. And Garrett threw a scald into a seismitoad, which was pretty bad, but it's like Peyton also got darkness lariated like immediately and lost him on like right away too. So yeah, as far as the game though, Peyton started the year I think 3-0, and he's lost the last 2 weeks. So I think for him to get a win over like a very good team here is going to do like really well for his confidence moving forward. And like this win secured him a spot in playoffs for sure. So I think it's very important that he got the win, and he did it pretty convincingly too. So all around, it was really really cool to watch. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one was a really fun one to watch too, because Quincy's been winning games like super convincingly over the past couple of weeks. And Sean, after losing his first game of the year, has now won 5 games in a row. And it's like we called it the comeback story initially, but I think it's safe to say we don't have to call it a comeback anymore. He's just extremely good. His team prep's been really solid. Like his team, like I played him week one, and I'm actually very thankful that I got to play him week one when both of us didn't really understand what the purpose of our teams were going to be. So, because I think if I play him again now, it's going to be much much different than how it went at the start. Like Marowak and Trick Room was incredible in this. Adaptability to Galgi is like terrifying. And it's like Quincy brought like an amazing Togekiss set that like really carried him through the game. And if he gets the Shell Smash off on his Blastoise, just like without that Trick Room up at the end of the game, it definitely changes the outcome. So that, yeah, if they play 10 games, it's going to be 5-5 easy, I think. So good game overall. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For sure. Mm-hmm. 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 For sure. Uh, Nah, just like reiterating a few of your points. You got 3 kills in the first 3 turns, and it was 6-3. And I was like, oh, as I was watching the video, I'm like, this game is gonna be just a landslide. And it's like, but then you realize that like Choice Scarf Tyrantrum and a Tyranitar are very, very good. And all of a sudden it went from 6-3 to 5-3, and then to 4-3, and then all of a sudden we're knotted at 3. So I was like, I commend him for his ability to get back into the game for sure. and I'm a little nervous to play him. I think I'm playing him tonight, so it'll be a fun one. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. I think he's secured a playoff spot, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He actually still does have a chance to make it in the last wildcard spot. He'll need a pretty big win over Dylan, and he'll need a little extra help, but still does have a chance. So it's like if he gets over that and just like doesn't play so safe and just kind of finds a way to pull the trigger in some situations and just like sits down and is really in depth with his team builder for this last week, I think that he could maybe just squeak in, but we'll see what happens. Hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think Harry's fatal flaw is sometimes he just likes to go for stuff that's like really cute and obscure, and it's like, well, it's a funny idea in general. Sometimes it's just like it's such a specific scenario where it's going to work out. So um, I commend him for that. I really do. I think thinking outside of the box is really cool and stuff. But I think if this last week he gets to play his brother, which will be really cool, and one of them will walk away with a win. But it'll be interesting because if he just brings something that's just like really solid and finds a way to do that, I think that he could have definitely done a lot better this season. This is kind of just like the same thing, you know. It's like Nate's a pretty busy guy. Doesn't have the tools in order to like just really sit down and think about this like super analytically. But he's having a really good time with it, which is really nice to see. Yeah. Hmm. 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 I think that he has experienced like maybe not the like greatest improvement over the course of the season, but the most like consistent and most steady improvement. you know, and it's like this is something that he's never really done before, and this isn't something that you just learn how to do in 1 week. So it's really nice to see that he has kind of learned each week, and he kind of like uses the games that he's played to kind of prepare for the next week and stuff too. So I think that if he sticks with it and he does doubles and stuff, that like he can get to a very competent and very like solid spot. But I think that 12th is not indicative of his potential. Mm, for sure. The one thing that I love about Caleb so much is that regardless of the way his games go, like he's constantly laughing and he's having like he got 6-0'd by Garrett last week and was just like dying of laughter the whole time. And he brought like some super unconventional, wacky stuff. And it's like I appreciate his sportsmanship, and I'm glad that he's enjoying himself. Mm-hmm. For sure. Mm-hmm. I I think, and like, don't get me wrong, Dylan, I love you, but I had such high hopes for him at the beginning of the season. I think in our preseason rankings, like his draft was so solid, and he had all the pieces together. Everything just looked so good, but it's just like it's just not clicking. You know, it's like I expected him to be definitely just like a top 3 team in the division, and he's just like struggling to get over the hump each week. So I think that he still has a really, really solid team. If he just like, if he tries just a little bit harder and like tries to do a little more defensive preparation and switch things up a little bit, I think that his results definitely turn around. But yeah, no, he gets to play Nate this week in a potential playoff swing game. So hopefully he's prepared for that, and hopefully that's a good game to watch. Nate. Hmm. For sure. For sure. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And he's kind of thriving too, based off of having like almost no experience. And like his team is so funny to me because it's literally just like a Jurassic Park like movie built into a Pokemon team, but it's like surprisingly good, and it's hard to prepare for. I like you said, I get to play him this week, and it's by no means like a free win, and he could definitely take things in a really good route. So, um, yeah, as much as I would love to finish out my season undefeated, there's a very good chance that maybe that doesn't happen. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. The season's beginning redemption story was Sean, and now it is DJ. He started like beginning power rankings like 12th and below for the first 3 weeks, and now every week since he's like picks up a win, picks up a different mon now. And it's like I'm gonna pick up another win, I'm gonna pick up another win, and switch half of my team out. And all of a sudden now he's transitioning from this meme potential to something that's actually like really hard to prepare for. So I am scared of DJ, and he's gonna give people a hard time because you know, assuming that he just like wins his wild card game, or even like, because I don't believe that he can squeak in to the top three in that division regardless. But in the perfect world for DJ is like he wins his wild card game, and he is the wild card coming out of Division Two, so he gets to play the 1 seed from Division One, which will either be you or me. So, mhm, mhm, wow, yeah, that's it's a very improbable situation, but regardless, he's gonna come in at like a low playoff seed, but it's gonna be the team that everyone wants to avoid. So, mhm, mhm. Yeah, I have nothing else to add. Good job. Mhm. Yeah, the whole bracket's gonna be scary. There will be no free games. Mhm. Hmm. Yeah, big win, big confidence booster the last week. So he's probably going to ride a lot of momentum going into playoffs. So and he's looking to switch some things up on his team too. So it'll be really crazy to see how things end up for him and where the matchups lie in the next couple of weeks. Hmm. 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 Right. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And it's like he gets an unfortunate like 3-0 loss this last week to like a good team in Peyton. But it's like that's kind of that's another one of those games. It's like you run it 10 times and it probably goes 5-5. So Garrett definitely one of the best like overall thinkers out of the like 14 teams. So he's gonna bring stuff that people aren't prepared for. And Garrett could easily just like run a 5-0 or a 6-0 on literally anybody each week if he catches you off guard. So top five still a really solid spot. He falls a couple spots, but definitely still very, very solid. Yeah. Mhm. Hayes. Mhm. 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 Yeah. Mhm. I think Sean is probably for me the biggest like surprise of the season because he had a in season one he had a pretty rough pretty rough time. I think he went like 2-4 or 2-5 or something, and starts off slow this time. So I think a few of us from season one just kind of expected maybe the same stuff from him. So you can call it a redemption arc from season one if you really want to, but in terms of this season, like his rise to the top is definitely something that you can't ignore, and I'm glad that I played in week one and not this week like you do. You'll have your hands full with him, but I definitely think that he's improved a lot. He's got a really scary team. Finds a way to win games. Like his tiebreaker score is really low, which means he wins like 4 of his 5 games 2-0 and the other one like a 1-0. But being able to have a situation at the end where you put yourself in a position to win, even if you only have 1 or 2 months left, I think is very indicative of the kind of player he is and how smart he is. So, um, very, very, very good team. Sure. Yeah. I think that. I mean, to me personally, it's no surprise that you are this far to the top. I think that you had one of the best drafts synergistically. Your team is just super good. I remember when we played 2 weeks ago now. I was like preparing. I was just like, how in the world do you get through like Conk Scizor? and the short answer is, and even with how good of a team that I feel like I have, it was so difficult to find the right combination to get through it. And it's like you have to give respect to everything on your team. And it's like, and you can prep for Kingdra and Rain all you want, but sometimes it just doesn't matter. That thing is like 11-2 on the season, and it's very, very difficult to deal with. So I think your prep is very consistent, your game knowledge is very good, you take your time, everything kind of falls into place. So I think you're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and hopefully you and I end up getting a rematch sometime soon, because I think it'll be a lot of fun, just like the last one was. Mm-hmm. Is a playoff team. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mhm. MVP, actually. That's 600 base special attack with specs on it. It's pretty good. Mhm. For sure. Mhm. Yeah, I definitely I appreciate that. I definitely feel like I have a target on my back though, and so I'm gonna have to play even better than I have in the past year. So it'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Okay. Mhm. As far as trades are concerned, I don't think like any trades actually happened apart from one of them. There's a lot of talk with trades. But the big one trade of the week is me trading Primarina to the Kingdras for Hatterene, which is something that I didn't really want to do right away. But I think Hatterene's got a lot of utility and kind of does the same thing that Primarina's supposed to do. And it enables some trick room stuff with Droppo, which I think is really, really cool. As far as free agent switches, you dropping Alola and Raichu for Galvantula, I think that's super solid. I mean, the same typing and stuff, and access to sticky webs is pretty good. Sean dropped Mr. Rhyme and Rotom for Vaporeon Manectric. That's pretty scary. You dropping Roserade for Lantern, I really like this pick. I think Lantern is kind of slept on. That thing is like deceptively bulky, and yeah, the thing is thick with like 5 Cs, and Definitely very good. I dropped Leafeon for Lapras, which is kind of an interesting pick, but Lapras fills up the water void left from Primarina, and I think Lapras is a lot like Lantern in its bulkiness, I guess you could say. Um, Peyton dropping Aegislash for Halucha is a very interesting switch. Which, in my opinion, is scary because nobody knows what he wants to do with it. So I feel like that could definitely catch someone off guard. Garrett dropping Grimmsnarl and Dusclops for a couple of his Season 1 Pokemon with Aegislash and Whimsicott. Whimsicott's very good, like Tailwind utility. Aegislash, obviously, like super scary. I think, and also Peyton dropping Jolteon for Indeedee, which can also be a very potentially interesting situation as well. But I think that my favorite switch of the week is DJ literally getting rid of a third of his team, and going for some stuff that definitely makes it a lot better. He dropped Runerigus that he just picked up from Harry, Virizion, and Bisharp. Picked up Surfetched, who has a base 135 attack stat, by the way. And then Ninetales Venusaur for like a Sun Core, like he had last season. Like, man, that brought DJ's like meme squad to like solid synergy and very scary stuff. Chlorophyll. Gets Solar Blade. Yeah, for sure. Roserade. Yeah. Right. Right. Sure. Definitely remember too Galvantula pretty fast, right? And like Galvantula and Lantern both like in the rain 100% accurate Thunder. That's pretty scary too. I believe he has one more. Yeah. Did not bring it once. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, a little bit more so. Mhm. Uh, yeah, I guess like we said before, is like free agent swaps and trading has been like super busy the past couple of weeks. People are finally like throwing together final synergies and final strategies and stuff. So it's officially closed for the rest of this week. But we'll open again on Sunday through Wednesday, and then we'll have everything set in stone. As far as playoffs are concerned, we have 9 teams that have already made it in for sure. The 3 teams up for that last wildcard spot are the Pompous Pikachu's, Choke Me Daddy, and Saffron Chuckles. Um, each with like a very specific scenario to get in, with Caleb's being the easiest. And I'll say this to Colin: Colin controls the Pikachu's destiny, and controls Caleb's ability to get into playoffs. Because Caleb wins that game, he's in for sure. But if he loses, he's going to need a little bit of help. So um, we're looking at that game, looking at obviously the Dylan and Nate game for sure too, and yeah, it'll be really cool. We're finally getting to the end game now, and it's single elimination, so anybody can win. Mhm. Go Judgment. That would be great. I would be really happy.